Let's jump into 17.5a, diluted earnings per share. So we're always answering the question in these types of problems. We're answering the question, what if they convert their convertible shares? What if they convert their convertible bonds? What if these stock options cash in for shares? What if they exchange their options for shares? What if this happens? What does it do to our earnings per share? And if it brings our earnings per share down, we recalculate it and we call it diluted earnings per share. Let's jump into the problem. Kevin Company reported net income of $600,000 for its 2031 fiscal year. So I'm already thinking, okay, these earnings per share questions, you're going to be calculating basic earnings per share. So when I get a number like the net income 600,000, I'm already thinking of this formula: net income minus preferred dividends divided by weighted average number of common shares outstanding. Well, we have the net income 600,000. The company has the following share information for the year 2031: 200,000 common shares issued and outstanding for the whole year. Well, that's our weighted average number of common shares outstanding. We didn't issue or buy back any shares that we have to do some weighted average calculations. That'll come later. We will have to do that, but for now, just 200,000 is it. 20,000 non-cumulative convertible preferred shares issued and outstanding for the entire year. The company declared and paid a $5 per share dividend on the preferred shares. Well, it's 20,000 shares. There's a $5 dividend. That's $100,000 of preferred divs. Each preferred share is convertible to 4 common shares. Because they didn't convert anything, it doesn't affect our basic earnings per share. This is the calculation. So it's 600 minus 100, that's 500, divided by 200, $500,000 divided by 200,000 shares. Our basic EPS is $2.50 per share. That's our earnings per share. That is our answer to part A. Part B, we say, well, what if we converted? Now, we could do this very easily in one step, but I actually prefer to do it in 2 steps because future questions are going to require us to do this. We got to answer the question first, is it dilutive? The answer here is yes, this is dilutive. I phrased the question in that way. In future questions, we'll have some things that are dilutive and are not dilutive, and we'll even mix and match them together. So it's important for us to do this first step, even though it's going to take a little extra time here. The step is we answer the question, is it dilutive? It's like a game show. Is it dilutive? So here's how we deal with that. We say, okay, if we diluted, how would it change the numerator, the top part of this question? So if they all converted, 20,000 shares preferred shares converted into common, would it change anything in the numerator? And the answer is yeah, it would change the preferred dividends, right? Our preferred dividends would go to 0. They were 100,000, they're going to go to 0. So if we converted, the numerator would go up by $100,000. We wouldn't have this minus 100 in there. It would be 600 minus 0 equals 600. What about the denominator? Would that change? And the answer is yeah. If they converted 20,000 shares, 4 shares per preferred, 4 common shares per preferred, that would be plus 80,000 to our denominator, right? There'd be plus 80,000 shares. So $100,000 divided by 80,000 shares, 1.25, I think. My math, yeah, okay, my math did work there, 1.25 per share. And so to answer the question, is it dilutive? The answer is, if this number we calculate is lower than our basic EPS, and it is, it's dilutive. And if it's dilutive, it means you run the number, you compute diluted earnings per share. If it was higher, if this was like 3, we would just stop there and we'd go, 250, that's our diluted earnings per share also. But because it's lower, and of course it's going to be in these examples where we're learning this, if it's lower, then we have to do the calculation. So we redo this earnings per share calculation. Maybe I'll use green ink or something. And we redo it as if they had converted. So our net income, if they converted, is still 600,000. Our preferred dividend is 0 because our preferred shareholders are converting, and we divide by the new weighted average number of common shares outstanding, which we said was 280,000 common shares outstanding. And just to reiterate that, that's 200,000 converts 4 shares per, so that's why there's 80,000 new common shares if all our preferred shareholders convert. 600 divided by 280. is 2.14. We'll just round to the penny for these ones, $2.14. That is our diluted earnings per share. Now, if you or me, if I were you and I was a student, I would go, I'll just do this. Like, why did I do this whole is it dilutive bit at the bottom? You have to do this in future questions, so it's good to get in the habit of doing it now. And the other thing it's good to get in the habit of is hitting one or both of those buttons. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. The next video in our series is right up here, and if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.